All right, first time going live, and we're going to be making some waist beads today. This is my bead spinner. You don't have to have one of these, but it does make the job easier. I'm going to be using a tape measure. You don't need this, but it helps when you are trying to make a waist bead at a certain length. So I had to buy a new one. I've had so many. I get these all the time, and I always lose them. So the last one I had was 120 feet or inches, sorry. This one is 60 inches, which is good for waist beads because generally people's waist is less than 60. So you can use this, and I'm going to use my string here. I actually have one that is down to almost nothing. So I'm going to be using, trying to use the rest of this. And you can even use it, the bead spinner, when you are taking off your string, when it gets this low. So I'm not really going to measure it. I'm just making general waist beads. I'm not trying to make them for any size or anything. This is probably going to be around maybe 45 to 50 inches. I just usually just open my hand all the way up. That's how I measure it, unless I'm doing a custom order. And I'm going to be making the string a little bit longer so that we'll have some room to tie. Remember, I really don't know how long this is. It's probably going to be about probably about 50 inches. And as you can see, that's two. And we're just going to keep on bringing out the strings until we get them as thick as we want. When you're when you have small size beads, of course you're going to make it thinner. But when you have bigger beads, which that's what I'm going to be using, that's what I really prefer to use. And I'm going to be using beads size 6, glass beads size 6. I do buy waist beads from Africa. I sell them wholesale, but sometimes it takes a long time for me when I order them. Um, it takes some time for me to get in contact with my connect because the internet is there. It's not like how it is here. So it could take days getting in contact with the person who goes and order them, and then it takes time to get with the person who will actually make them. And then once she gets her team to start making them, it takes more time. Like, because they usually are custom. Unless I just tell her to just send me whatever she has. It can take weeks for her to actually make them. So, I was going to try to see. I don't know how many of these I did. I guess I could count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. I like to try to test them out to see if going to it's going to be thick enough and also still small enough to get through the needle and the beads. So I think this is about 12 or 13. So you can fill it up, but you don't have to. The higher you fill it up, the more these beads are going to be popping out. So you see that's like a pretty, I think what you call hunter's green or emerald green. This one it's just, oh, it's called Miss Emerald Green. And this is a size 6. So I have different needles that I use. I'm going to be using this curved needle. This is really not my favorite. I know these are popular. A lot of the waist bead girlies use these, but I don't really like the shape of it at the end. So you can use any needle that works for you. Okay, but before we do this, I'm gonna tell you how I do my end, what people call, I think, slip knots or something like that. So I'm gonna leave about a few inches so that I can have some room to tie. Not only do I want to leave room to tie, but also, like, if you do have somebody who's bigger, who has a wide waist, who wants to wear the strand and they don't care about this showing, I can still tie it on and they'll just have the white the string showing. So as you can see, that's about how long I like to have at the end so that the beads won't fall off. So you can use like a sewing needle or like an open eye needle. And I'm going to have this available on my website if you want to buy the needle, the thread, and the bead spinner. So I kind of straighten mine out. I don't really like it as curved as it is. So I haven't used this in a while. I use the more straighter one. So let's see. Yep, I still probably could have put some more strings on. I forgot that I was supposed to just test it out. I was just gonna supposed to. My plan was just to test it out because sometimes these beads are different sizes. So the other size is 6. That's less than it. Wait, no, this is 6. The other size that I usually don't go up to like the 10, 11s, and 12. Those beads are really small, and it's difficult. I will buy those already done, but I don't really like doing them because it's difficult to me. When the smaller the hole. So I prefer doing 6s only. But of course, if it's a custom order, and I'll do different sizes. If you're using a different size bead, like a size 4, you know that you want to go to, you can use less strings than what I used here. But the unfortunate thing is that all of these beads, even though they do have that size on there, you're going to have some that are going to be too small, that won't fit through the string. And I don't like that. So I'd rather do less than more, because it's so frustrating when you get so many beads stuck that you can't use them. So I started making waist beads after I think I started selling them first. It was probably in 2013 or 2014. I was just looking for a product to sell for my clients who are pregnant or just had a baby. So this was like the perfect product for me, and I had already gotten the name Craftswoman because I started out as a nail technician. I was a nail technician for over 20 years. Then I started making candles. And then once I became a mother, I found that it was difficult to find the time and to find the time to make the candles. So I started doing the classes. And after I became a mother 15 years ago, that's when I got into the doula industry, birth work. And after I got into birth work, there were women telling me that they were bleeding for weeks, they couldn't get pregnant. So I tried to seek out natural information, natural remedies to help with womb issues. I learned about the yoni steam, and I got certified doing the yoni steam. So I'm all about the womb wellness, and I'm also a artsy, crafty, creative person. So that's where the name Craftswoman comes from. So some people know me as a doula. Some people know me as the yoni lady, yoni steam lady, or the bead lady, waist bead lady. So that's how I got into doing waist beads. And I did not know. I thought that I would just like sell a few. I didn't really know that it would be as big or as popular as it is. And I really started doing good during that COVID time. Before COVID, during COVID, waist beads was a big thing. And the good thing about it is this my waist beads don't come from China. They come from Africa. So there wasn't an issue with getting my product. And because people were stuck in the house, couldn't go anywhere, they were ordering online. So I do have a waist bead business class on my website. And you can also get this waist bead making kit on there. I also have a vending class for those of you who want to learn how you can start vending and make money. A lot of people don't like doing vending because it's such a big risk, but you have to like weigh your options and see which event is going to be better for you. But I think that vending is really good. Yes, you can make sales, but it's really good, like as far as marketing, introducing yourself, introducing your brand to different people who would never run across your face, your website, your page, your brand. And people ask me how long it takes. We'll see how long it takes here. We're almost at 15 minutes and we're more than halfway done. And I was talking and kind of going a little slow, showing stuff. So showing you stuff and going a little slow. So this would probably, if I was like sitting down really being on some speedy, trying to hurry up, it'd probably be about 15 minutes. And this is just for a solid color. Now, if you wanted to do the accent beads, you would have to stop and kind of focus on how you want your pattern to turn out. That may take probably a couple of minutes more at the end. Not that much longer. If you have everything organized as far as your pattern. So I'm doing this video live on Instagram and on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to my page on YouTube, please subscribe to The Craftswoman on YouTube. You can also subscribe to my email list, craftswoman.com. You see? That's why. Ooh. And you can find out about events, classes that we have coming up. I do have a free postpartum class coming up December 29th, and the Pregnant to Postpartum event is happening March 23rd in Dallas, Texas from 2 to 6. If you want free tickets, email contact@craftswoman.com. If you want to become a vendor or a sponsor, go to Eventbrite. This string is really good because it is strong and durable. It's not going to mold. I have had waist beads on for years, cut them off, looked inside, and there was not any mold, no nasty stuff. So it's sanitary. But if you're really OCD and you're really concerned about sanitation with wearing waist beads on this type of string, you can always get my elastic waist beads and then just, you know, put them on for the event that you're going to and then take them off afterwards. But nothing can stick to this. The only thing, it'll just probably fade from lint. All right. This is how much I have left. But I think I'm going to just do a little bit more. And I'm going to measure this to see how long I actually got it. Okay, that's good. Oh, we got an issue. We got a little tangling down here. Oh, got it out. But you can also cut, if anything. So that's more than enough to tie. And when I tie closer to the beads. I don't do it at the end. So let's see how long this one was actually, how long it actually measures. Oh, that's pretty short. It's like 43.5. So I could have made it a little longer. So that's simple, how you make the permanent waist beads. learn how to turn this off. How do I go off